Being a featured artist in Osu is pretty cool. You get your songs mapped, promoted on the news page of the website, and even shown by default on Laser without having to uncheck this dumb checkbox. But it also comes with some responsibilities. And if you don't follow those, well, let's just say you're not gonna be a featured artist for much longer. Which is something that an artist by the name of Median learned the hard way. But before we dive into why exactly he got removed from the featured artists, let's talk a bit about his background. It all started with him stealing music from other creators and trying to attribute it to himself. The first time he did this was when he tried submitting stolen music to a promotion channel called Yokaze, which is a music hub like NKS or I don't know, Biteki. Basically, you send them a song, they post it on their channel, people find out about your music, you get famous. But the thing is that the owners of such channels are usually not dumb, which Median clearly didn't account for since he submitted a low quality MP3 file, and later when asked for a lossless version to confirm if he was really the owner of the music, he simply ghosted them and after a few days submitted a different song claiming that he wanted to cancel the first submission and submit this one instead. Of course, the channel owner didn't fall for this and didn't even bother responding to him. But Median wasn't ready to give up just yet. He sent them a third track, which was almost immediately revealed to be stolen from an artist by the name of Tsuki or Tsuki. This in turn led to Median getting permanently banned from submitting music to Yokaze again. Another case of him stealing was when he submitted a stolen song to a rhythm game, which went undetected for several months, but thankfully got removed from the game and later reintroduced by the original author. So as we can see, he was stealing from people left and right. But it didn't really work out for him, so he turned to AI, releasing a huge volume of songs in a very short time, and eventually becoming a featured artist in Osu with more than 20 songs listed in game. Now, it isn't 100% confirmed that he was using AI to make his songs, but it is really suspicious how someone who stole music in the past could suddenly start pumping out huge amounts of good original songs. Unfortunately, at the time it didn't raise any suspicions, so all of this went undetected under the radar for some time, up until the Resurrection Cup incident, which is when everything became very clear. Median was commissioned to create a song for the tiebreaker, which was supposed to be over 5 minutes long, but at the end turned out to be only as long as 4 minutes and 30 seconds. While making the song, he also ignored multiple requests from the commissioner, such as for example lowering the volume of an instrument to make space for vocals, which is something that would be really easy to do if he actually made the song. But instead he claimed that he hit a creative wall and lacked the motivation to do anything. Thankfully, another artist by the name of Sugusugi stepped in and offered to help finish the track. And it is at this point of the story that it became obvious Median didn't make the song. You see, Median claimed to have used Logic Pro to write the song. And if you've ever heard of Logic Pro, you probably also know that it's an iOS app. And more importantly, an exclusively iOS app. But when Sugusugi asked for a project file, Median said he deleted it, only to later magically recover it by resetting his Windows PC. I'm just gonna let him marinate there for a second. Brother, this is probably the dumbest way in which he could have gotten caught. Like, how do you even mess up that bad? He of course tried to weasel his way out of this by saying that he just didn't have the motivation or didn't want to work on the project, or thought that Sugusugi will not work on the project either. But none of what he said really made sense. Him getting caught eventually led to the project being abandoned, him blocking everyone he ever talked to, and saying that he will never work on an Osu related project again. The song he made for Resurrection Cup would later be analyzed, revealing several inconsistencies and red flags, which all likely pointed to it being AI generated. This in turn led to his other songs being analyzed as well, revealing some of them to be stolen and others to have the same inconsistencies pointing to it being AI. He was promptly removed from the featured artists, and all of the stolen songs were renamed to their correct titles and attributed to their respective artists. At the time, it is really unlikely that Median will ever become a featured artist again, or that he will even return to the Osu community in general. But as always, you never know what can happen, so we'll just have to wait and see. Anyway, that's about it for today. Subscribe if you want to see more of my stuff, since only a very, very, very small amount of you are actually subscribed. But that's about it, so I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!